Hello, hola, buenas, hi, how are we? Uh, Today, just going right into it, I want to talk about why I'm here. I want to say why I'm here. I mean, why am I in Spain? Why I am in the current spot I'm in Spain. Why I'm in Granada, more specifically, and just more context and background into who this person is, who I am, who this guy is uploading shit on YouTube. Um, my name is Gabriel Jorge Roque. My friends and family call me Gabi. Uh, I'm here because, well, I'm here in Spain because my family's here. My mom and my sister and my father, they were all here. Well, kind of. My father, kind of. He wasn't here when I got here. Um, for some context, I have six siblings, so in total we're seven, and they all have their lives. I'm six out of seven, so the other five, they all have their lives, and they are adults, and they live all across the United States, and it's really cool to think of having family so spread out and all over the place, especially siblings. It's an interesting feeling. It feels like a lot of heartbreaks just waiting to happen. Like, I always think of my siblings' funerals. I always think of, wow, I have a lot of funerals to go to, and I was like, who's gonna be end up going to whose, you know? So that was totally off topic, but it's just something I always think about, having so many siblings. Um, I moved out at 17. During this process, this was 2023. Um, my family, when I say family, I mean my direct family at this point, because everyone's already moved out. So I'm talking about my mom, my sister, and my dad. My family, they were in the process of moving to Spain, and I was in the process of moving with them to Spain in 2023. I'm supposed to be class of 2024, but I graduated early in October of 2023 because I was planning on finishing my education in Spain, or not finishing my education. I graduated with my high school diploma, but just pursuing education in Spain. Um, while I was in Spain, I had gone ahead with my father in December. I'm pretty sure November, December, around that time, and our mission was to look for a place for my family to live at. So we go to Spain, and first our first thoughts are Valencia. Love you, Valencia, but it's not my city. Not my city. It is beautiful though. Beautiful architecture, beautiful park system. The food, the food. No hate to the Valencianos. This isn't hate to the Valencianos, but I personally, if you go throughout Spain, you'll know that there's better food than Valencia and cheaper food. so, so love you, Valencia, but it just wasn't for us. It just wasn't for us. And we were looking in the city, around the little pueblos in the in the area that were connected by the metro or cercanía trains, and it just wasn't for us. So we looked in Sevilla. Later, we did a trip. Well, before that, we did a little trip all through Andalusia. We went to Granada, and when I went to Granada, I always had a feeling for it. I always had an attraction to it. I was very fond of it. I just loved it. It was something so interesting. But then we went to Malaga, we went to Cádiz, went to Córdoba, and then we ended up going to Sevilla. And in Sevilla, it was nice, and we were definitely attracted to Andalusia in general, but we liked oh gosh, so many bugs. We just liked the environment, and So we went back to Valencia because that's where we were staying. And at that point, I was already talking to this guy. Let's call him Jay. Even though, skipping so far ahead, he later changes his name to his cultural, or not his cultural, but his first name before he got adopted. I was dating a Russian guy. And definitely one of the, I think one of the most important experiences I've ever had in my life was dating and being with Jay, because it taught me a lot. It taught me a lot about myself, and it taught me a lot about how I handle myself in a relationship and what I can do better. It's definitely. I feel like if you talk bad about your exes, that only just it says a lot about you. Now, if what they did was shitty, you're not shit talking. You're just talking about the shit that happened. But I don't like to shit talk. Jay, we were both really young, and we'll get into that. But basically, I told my dad while I'm with him in Valencia, I'm like, I want to move in, and I'm 17 at the time. I want to move in with Jay, with my boyfriend. I'm dating him. And I don't know how, because my parents are Colombian and Cuban, I do not know how I was able to leave. I do not know how I was able to. I wasn't even 18 yet, like I was 17, but I just told him, I was like, I'm ready. I can do this, and I got this. And I was fucking right. Like, I was right. So I basically ended up going to Tallahassee, and that is a story for so many people. He was in college at the time. I lived in student housing. Well, it wasn't exactly student housing, like on campus. It was off-campus student housing with him. I lived with him in there for like, I think it was like 3 months or something. And like, just thinking about it, like, he was so kind. He didn't make me pay rent or anything. I was looking for a job. Didn't have a job for like 2 months. So he had to get the majority of things. Like, I would get money every once in a while, but it was definitely not enough. Like, no. And so I literally lived with him in Tallahassee. We ended up getting our first apartment in Tallahassee. And the whole moving to Tallahassee for a guy thing is so common. Like, I fell victim to this. But I made it the most. I really did. I'm a good partner. I am a good partner. I know I'm a good partner. And I know I'm not just in the sense for a romantic relationship, but I'm a good partner if it comes to business. I'm a good partner if it comes to community, as a friend, like whatever it is. I just know I'm a reliable person. And like, looking back all that time, I'm the one who found our apartment. I'm the one who, I was housewife. I'm a housewife, and for lack of better words, I just know how to take care of an environment and sustain it. Now, am I perfect? No, definitely not perfect. I definitely fucked up a lot, and it was a constant. I was constantly in class. Let's just say, and but I loved it. I ended up getting a job, unfortunately, at Starbucks. So many gay tropes I'm fulfilling. And I needed that because they were going to pay for my education. So from 2024 till the end of 2025, well, more like the end of 2023, all of 2024, about to finish 2025, I left. Yeah. This goes from like the end of 2023 to November 2025. Let's just keep that in mind. So we're in Tallahassee. We're living there, and he's looking as months go by. Like, he's going to graduate soon, and we're looking at places to move to. And Chicago is an option. Chicago and Seattle. Originally, it was going to be Seattle, unfortunately, the University of Washington is stupid and didn't accept him. I mean, this guy, Jay is smart. Jay is such a smart guy. I mean, he's a forever student. He's that kind of guy. Like, I mean, I have serious respect for him, especially for his work. How passionate he is about it. How passionate he is about um, his culture, wanting to find it again. I had like a phlegm when I said that. Like he's just, when he likes something, he goes all in, and um, it really set a bare minimum for me, for guys, that I need to see that you want something too. Whatever it is, like, it doesn't need to be anything based on, money or shit like that, or like the conventional stuff, but it needs to be, you need to be passionate about something. You need to be passionate about something. So he really set that standard for me. Um, but basically we moved to just skip ahead. We moved to Chicago. We moved to Chicago, and because he got accepted into UIC and for his master's program, and I'm just so proud of him. Like, he's doing phenomenal there. And we moved there. I was able to transfer with Starbucks. They were paying for my education now and for my Spotify. Just the two major things, my music and Spotify. And so I also found that apartment in Chicago, by the way. I coordinated the whole move. I packed everything. Alright. Gosh. Just like thinking about it, I'm like, wow, this was a lot. Like, and we had furniture too. Like, I was able to find us good furniture. We went to these really cool stores. Like, thank God he drove, because in Tallahassee I got hit by a car, and at that point I didn't have a car. I had a car, but I didn't bring it to Tallahassee because it was just like really beat up. I had a 1985 Plymouth Grand Fury. I'll put a picture up. Really cute, but it was broken, and that shit was not gonna last for long. So, oh gosh, so many bugs everywhere. They just land on your fingers and stay there. So I I did a lot for us. Okay, I'm not to toot my own horn, but I've never been able to say this out loud. So well, except with my mom, but I've never been able to say it out loud to like a group of people where, what, I did that. Like, I really did that. I was living my life and I was getting things done on my own. I did not have help. I did not have help other than from my partner and whatever, he could provide. Like, that was it. We were on our own. We did not get help. So that's not entirely true, that we did not get help. I didn't get help from my side. My partner at that time, Jay, he was able to get some financial assistance from his parents. So it covered his side of things, if that makes sense. But they always made sure to say, like, we're helping you, not Gabe. So yeah. And that'd be like the argument sometimes, because I'd be like, the help's for you. Like, they don't care about me. Like, I'm doing this all on my own. So yeah. And it's not that my parents like don't care. Well, let me say my mom, because my dad's just his own thing. My mom just was not in the position to help me that way. So like, I can't be mad at her for that. Like, we're all going through this right now. So like, I wasn't even get mad at her for that. But in Chicago, basically, let me just say this: wherever you go, whatever environment you're in, it doesn't change whatever problems you're having. You need to fix that, because where you go and where you move, that's not going to fix whatever problems you're having, especially in a relationship, in a romantic relationship. You need to fix that wherever you're at, and you need to nip it in the bud. And I said his name, but Jay, I just want to respect his privacy because I fucking hate YouTube videos that do that where they're like, I'm just gonna call him Jay. But I do want to respect his privacy because I have nothing bad to say about him. And I'll get to that. Why? Uh, Jay and we both came from families that had abusive cycles and not healthy ways of handling emotion. So we both hurt each other. We both hurt each other. We we were really young and we were un not knowing, but we didn't want to, but we still were repeating cycles that we had learned from our parents and the environment that we had been in. And it really hurt because after the fact that, let's say, whatever had blown up in our faces, we would just cry in each other's arms because we do not want to repeat what our parents did to each other and what they did to us. And it was so hard. It was always reoccurring, these problems, and it was really sad because it's hard to separate those moments and fits of anger from the person that you love. Like when things are normal and fine, it's like I would look at him and I would still see how he looked at me when in that, let's say, that night, and where there was a fit of rage, and it was hard to separate those two people. And I'm sure he could say that about me. It was. I'm sure it is hard, and there had been a breaking point, and in November of well, it was the very, very, very end of October, like I think the 31st, then leading into November, because I had left November 5th. I was there from June 1st to November 5th in Chicago. That's when we were there. Well, I was there. He's there still. But it got to a point where I had to go because there wasn't time for us anymore. It felt like we had gotten to a point where he was so into his school, and I was doing my education, I was working, and I was living my life. But sometimes it felt like we were just roommates, and we wouldn't see each other. Like I'd have to go to sleep early because I had worked super, super early, and he had night classes, so I'd be having to go to sleep, but he'd be out, and he wouldn't get home super late, and he would want to stay up, and he was also a drag queen, so it was just a lot. It was just a lot, and it really hurts to think about sometimes because I really love Jay. I really love Jay, and it hurts to see when your lives start going in different directions, but you're living in the same space, but I feel like sometimes I could have made an effort to say, hey, let's do this more, or let's do that. I feel like, yeah, that's so true, but I was always a person to do that anyway. And like maybe I could have said yes more to things. Like maybe I could have been more agreeable. I know. Oh shit, B. I know. I know. I can be stubborn sometimes, and I can be someone that's like, oh, I don't want to do that. So do your own thing. Do your own thing. And that's not right. So I guess that's one thing I've learned, to be more agreeable and to just, even though it's not something I want to do, like just do it. Just do it. It's someone you love. Just do it. But I left. Oh wow. Oh my gosh. That bird is doing like a booty dance on the rock. It's Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Wait, I need to look at this bird. He is so cute. His tail's like bumping up and down. And he's on a rock, and he's so cute, and he's yellow on the bottom. Oh gosh, it's so. Oh, it's so pretty. Okay. That bird is so cute. Oh my gosh. So what, can I take a picture of it? Let me see if I can get a picture of it. Hold on. Okay, I got a picture of it, but he's not bumping up his down his tail, so it's not as pretty. But oh no, scrubbers. Oh, he didn't want me. There was a dog that passed by and did not want shit to do with me. Ew, did he just poop? I think he just pooped and she not even gonna pick it up. Oh, he better not drink that water. The water at the river right now looks a little murky. I don't know. I don't know if I'd want to drink it. I don't know if that's for me. Okay, so basically, I had to leave. I had to leave so short notice. Like, I came into work one day and I was like, I'm moving to Spain. I need to leave. I can't afford to live here anymore. And Starbucks wanted to keep me so bad. My manager, he was a gay man, so it makes sense. Like, he really wanted me to stay. He was willing to have me stay at his house for a little bit. Like, he wanted me to stay. And like, there was a lot of support from my coworkers. I made a lot of good friends. I did make a lot of good friends in Chicago. People that I think I still talk to this day. And I think I'll always talk to, really. I always check in. I'm that kind of friend that if we're really friends, if we are really friends, no matter what time distance goes by, whenever we want to talk, just have a little update or something, I'm there, I'm ready, like, I'm there for you. It doesn't matter how much time has passed. I'm not the kind of like, well, you haven't called me. No, it's okay. It's alright. And if we miss a call, I'll call you back. And if I don't call you back, I'll call you back in a month. Like, I'm that person. So in November, I moved to Spain. I moved there with 5 duffel bags, a suitcase, and a book bag. And that's all I brought with me from Chicago. I say that's all I brought when I'm at this point. I'm also 19. I had turned 19 in Chicago. At this point, I'm literally following the footsteps of my dad, basically, because he had to leave Cuba. He had to leave Cuba out of around 18. Yeah, around 18, 19. And he moved to a new country at that age. And that's exactly what I did. Thankfully, I could leave with a couple things. That's why I said it's funny, like, only 5 duffel bags, a suitcase, and a book bag. But he left with maybe a book bag. Woo! I'm just thinking about all this, and it's making me dizzy, because it's just when you say all your shit out loud and you realize how much you've been through. I feel like that memory, that trauma memory in your body kind of comes back, and in your mind it's like but I moved with my mom and my sister, and my dad wasn't there. And that's because, and this is what I was saying earlier, just because you move doesn't mean the problems are going to get fixed. You need to fix the problem, because the environment is not just going to do it. My mom and dad have always separated from each other. They've 8 or 9 times. Some of them official divorces, some of them not. It's probably even more than that. That's just a number I like to say. But it's really just been so much back and forth and so much instability. But my mom has in the way that she can been good at. I've described it like this to her, where we live in a hurricane, but with her, we are in the eye of the storm. And if you've ever been in a hurricane, the eye of the storm is calm, so there's nothing going on in it. But all around, you just see a wall of clouds, and you know that shit's happening. That's how my life was, really, growing up. And And the eye moves, so sometimes you get in the storm. Sometimes the eye moves, like it doesn't just stay in place. Well, I did see in a hurricane where the eye did not move for a little bit, and it was like really scary. But yeah. Yeah. So they have always just been in these cycles, and basically my dad, he's abusive. He is abusive, emotionally abusive, financially abusive, and at times it can get physically abusive. Um, and there are cycles of these. Like we would always walk on eggshells around him. We know and how we know how to test the valve and see at what level of anger he was at, or where we can gauge him at. Like it's just really it's not a way to live when you need to constantly regulate your emotions to make sure that someone else doesn't get to their boiling point. and and when you learn how to do that from a young age, especially with a parent, you go your whole life in every situation doing that, and reading people in that way, and kind of testing their limits and seeing what triggers them, and you just get good at reading people. And it's sad. It really is sad, because at that same thing, like just in that same subject, my dad is also very wishy-washy, and he leaves a lot. So my mom did, at times raise us as a single mom, and and it's like I can't say that she was technically always alone. Like he was there, but then he wasn't, or like he'd be there, but he literally like mentally was not there. Like he was checked out because he gets so caught up in his work, and he's had so many different jobs, all his own company. Really, he's been an IT guy, a realtor. Hell, he been a travel agent. Right now, he's an astrologer. I'm like, I told him, well, I didn't tell her, but I told my mom, I was like, how are you going to be so many things that start with A at once? You an astrologer, an abuser, and an asshole. Gosh, like that's just a lot. Like you triple A, triple threat. Like, but yeah, I'm trying not to get like down talking about this. Hold on. Like, it's not. We're in a better place now. It's just like when you got to go in a dark place to talk about this. Dog, please, dog, please. Oh, that sounds like painful. Whatever's happening, sounds like your toenails getting ripped out. Uh. But basically, he wasn't there. He had left the country, and let me just before I left to Spain from Chicago, my dad, being an astrologer, he had told me that all of this shit going on in my relationship was, yeah, like that was in my chart. Those transits in my chart. And on top of that, he was also saying that I needed to leave the United States because if not, I have the possibility of getting enlisted and being signed up for the military, because what he sees in the United States transit and just like globally what's going on with everything is that, oh my god, that dog is annoying as fuck. Oh my god, he better not be coming over here. Y'all better. Why are you yapping like that? Why are you yapping like that? Hola. Why are you yapping like that? Oh my god. I swear to god, if he comes over here. Oh. Feathers. Oh. They all like going to the water. There's like a little ramp that goes into the river here. Okay, he's cute. Hola. He's cute. I'll take a picture so you guys can see. Hold on. Aw, he actually is really cute. He looks like a coyote. Ah! Hold on, wait. I need to get a better picture of this. This is nice. Hello. Hello. Oh. Okay, wait. It was a cute ass dog. I'll show you. I'll show y'all what. I don't know if it's he or she. What they look like. Oh, it's so cute. Um, but basically, my dad was warning me about everything that's going on in the States and the world, and was like, "I think you'd be better in Spain. I think you should leave the United States because what I see in your siblings' transits and what I see in the world's transits is not good. It's really not good. So you need to leave." So yeah. On top of that, when I left to Spain, and I moved in with my mom and my sister, my dad wasn't there. Wonder why? Because the same cycles were repeating. I just wasn't there. And it was actually, if anything, worse because I wasn't there. Like, it got really bad. And my sister saw a lot of things that my siblings and I were hoping she would never have to experience and see. But unfortunately, she's been baptized like the rest of us in trauma. So yeah. God, huge ass bug. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That was disgustingly huge. I did not like that. But so I leave there and I go to the United States. I go to Spain. And my dad's not there. My dad's in Argentina. My dad is in Argentina. And he left Argentina for a month, and then he went to Miami, and he was living with his mom. And he was basically asking for forgiveness, saying, like, I can be better, let me move back in. And my mom listened. And I was kind of hoping, too, that, things would be different. But moral of the story, people don't change. People do not change. Like, you can change hair colors, and you can change your style, but who you are, especially if you're a victim who became an abuser and never healed, yikes, you're really going to have trouble changing because you never healed in the first place. So, yeah. So, he ended up moving back, and it was first fine. And that's how the cycle is. First, everything is fine. First, you try to be family and stuff, but then it fell back into the same conversations and cycles, and basically he's a cheater too. So, and he's also machista, and like he used to be a staunch like Trump supporter, but now he's like woken up to like that shit don't work. So his political views have changed, and he's pro-Palestine actually even now. Like he's become a lot more left-leaning than he was originally. I would not say he's a liberal, because the shit he subscribes to now isn't liberal. It's actually more leftist. But I'm like, if the groups that you're subscribing to would have known, or would know right now, if they would have known that you are what you are, an abuser, they would not accept you because you don't respect women. So yeah. It's a shame that someone can change their political views, but then they can't mature emotionally. That's basically what it is. And I would tell him that. It's like, and then he would be like, "Oh, you're taking your mom's side." And I'm like, see, that's how I know you don't even really want to fix shit, because you're seeing sides. Like, you should be seeing a team. That's what a relationship is. And I especially try to pit your kids against their mom. Like, are you dumb? Are you stupid? Especially knowing that you're the one who's always in and out. Like, she's been the one who supported me. Who are you? Right. So basically, I told my mom, I'm like, we need to get out of this. Like, this isn't healthy for you, for me, and especially when you hear your mom say that, like she wants to experience love and she doesn't think she's had real love before, like from a partner. I'm like, girl, we still got time to live. What are we doing? What are we doing? So we ended up looking up places to live, and I really like Andalusia, so I wanted to stay in Andalusia. And I saw Granada. And I remember Granada. I remember how much I love Granada. And Granada is... I just wanted something totally different because Granada is so mountainous. And we are from Florida. We're from flat swampland. So I was like, wow. And Sevilla kind of is flat swampland-ish. It's on the Guadalquivir, and that's a river, and it goes into like this national park that's like, it's really pretty, but I think it's called La Dehesa, and it's really nice, but it was hot. It was hot, and like, I don't know, I didn't like the feeling. Like, it's just no. So, and they're just they're a little more conservative in Sevilla. Even like the gay people, it's just not for me. It's just not my look. So I moved to Granada because Granada is more diverse. Granada is a university city, so there's a lot of political shit going on here, a lot of organization. So I was attracted to it. My mom, she was attracted to the beauty, the history. I mean, I was too, but like these are more things for her. And so we ended up visiting, and we get here, and we tour this place, and it's a Carmen. Those are what the houses are called in Albaicin, the neighborhood that we ended up moving to. And it was beautiful Carmen, had 3 terrazas. Like, for an unbelievable price. I was like, this is insane, because we can't afford the luxurious shit. Like, we're not those Americans moving here where we call ourselves expats and we go to Starbucks, and no, like, I even tried to enforce it, like, with us. I'm like, no, we're going to a local business. Like, we need to support the local infrastructure. We need to get use public transit here. So, yeah. Anyway, that place was beautiful. We were so close to signing on to it. It fell out of our hands. Another family got it. Whatever. We were really, really sad because we were already moving the ball to come here to Granada, and it looked like for a second, and we had came back to Sevilla and told my dad that we're moving, and then we tell him that this shit went through. So at first, it was so weird those last 2 weeks being there, and him being like semi-supportive, being like, oh yeah, like this would be great. And he also, the thing is, him being an astrologer, he had the foresight of seeing that shit was gonna happen and things were gonna change at around this period. So, he was being like, well, let's see, like something else will pop up and whatever, and something, oh my gosh, these flies, and something else did pop up. It did, and it was just, I love where we live now. When I first saw it, the ad, I discarded it and didn't want it because it looked, I don't know, the way they took pictures just was not good. But my mom realized that in the ad it said electricity and water included. I only had that experience of having that luxury in Tallahassee. The apartment I found also had that, and also had Wi-Fi included. We don't have Wi-Fi included, but Wi-Fi is cheap. And I was like, oh my gosh, what? So we ended up touring the place, and I loved it. I love where it is. It's really where the albaicineros, where the people who actually live in that neighborhood are. It's not overly touristified, and I love it. I would not trade it for the world. I mean, I love my room. I love how the dynamic is. Like, I just like the routine in the morning. I love everything about this apartment. And all its flaws too. I love all its crooks and it's like it's a place with a personality. It's definitely a place with a personality. Um, and the neighbors too. The neighbors definitely give it a lot more value. But basically, we were able to get that apartment, and I remember when we were then planning on, okay, how are we going to move to this place? My mom wanted to ask my dad, because he has a car here, if we could have him help with the move. And what's funny is that when she said that, I was like, no, that's never going to happen. He's going to use that as leverage against you. He's going to use that as a like a carrot with a pig, being like, oh, do you want it or not? Do you want it or not? And constantly try to take it away, because that's what he does. He's what's it called? He's not a gift giver. When he gives gifts, there's strings attached to it that he can always pull and take it away. So he literally took away, well, before we left to Granada, he took my Mac that he gave me years ago, and he took it. And that was his way of like, well, you can't have this because you're leaving. And like, if I never moved back to Spain, because I had that in Chicago, he would have never gotten that back. So I'm just like, you are so full of shit. God, stinkier than a fucking toilet, stinkier than a fucking porta potty, bitch. You were just full of shit. Septic tank. You are a septic tank. Like, bitch, someone needs to empty you. Sorry. But anyway. Here, we move here, and we do it with movers because what did he do? Because he actually offered to give us a ride with our shit. He was like, figure it out on your own after they got into a fight while we were still living there. Yeah. So we ended up needing movers. He wasn't there actually when the movers were coming. He's never there when the movers are there. He just like disappears for like 2 or 3 days, and then he's like, tell me when you're gone, and then he'll go back to wherever we were. But what's interesting is the last day that he was there, he had another fit of rage. My mom and I were sitting in the living room in the morning, and he was planning on going to the city in Extremadura, which is another comunidad autónoma, which is like a state in Spain. And he was going to Mérida for like a Roman reenactment thing, because they have a lot of Roman structures there that are still preserved. So he was going to that, but he felt the need to corner us basically, and to have us sitting down and talking, and he was not talking, he was yelling at us, and basically just saying like all this terrible shit about my mom, and just like what he always does, basically. And he kept calling my mom, like, because he gets himself riled up, because he'll repeat the same thing over and over again, just in different ways. And then he was like, and this motherfucker! And I was just so fed up. And this was like my first time actually speaking up to him while he's like talking his shit, because I'm like, hold on. If she's a motherfucker, what do I call you? If she's a motherfucker, what the fuck am I supposed to call you? And he's like, what do you want to call me? What do you want to call me? And then he starts getting all up in my face, and he like slams his glasses down. He's like, call me. What do you want to call me? And he's like getting all up in my face, trying to get a reaction out of me. And I said, I never said I wanted to call you anything. I'm asking you, what do I call you? Because if you're calling my mother a motherfucker, then what the fuck am I supposed to call you? Right? Since we're calling each other names. That's why I said, since we're calling each other names, what do I call you? Because her name's Adriana or Mommy, so... And so he was like, no, what do you want to call me? What do you want to call me? And I was like, no, I don't want to call you anything. I'm asking you, what do I call you? And he was just getting all riled up. And finally he like backed out of my face, because my mom was like, what do you expect your son to say when like she was like, "What would you say to your mom? Like what would or like what would you say to your dad if you had seen your mom doing this, right?" So and that kind of made him back up, and I was just constantly, just being very quick with him, and he kept talking and just being like, just saying bad, just saying bad shit that you shouldn't say one in front of your kids. Like, why are you trying to pit your children against your mom, like against their mother? And two, it's just shit that once he says it out loud, I'm like, did you expect anyone to agree with you in the first place? You are an abuser. You are a man who is a man-child. You have never healed. You do not have the reason. You do not have the reason, especially when you're getting like this. And it's one simple question that I made my mom ask, realize, is that, okay, you might have, you're not perfect either, but have at any moment you had to feel for your life? Yes. She's had to say yes. Right. My dad can't say that. He cannot say that. He's never had to fear for his life. No. And I mean, if you want to get in, that's the biology of things. Like, yes, but he is stronger than her. Yes. Unfortunately so. I wish it wasn't the case, but biologically, this man can fucking kill her. And I told her, you need to recognize that and realize that when someone is speaking to you in a fit of rage and they say what they're going to do, you need to believe them, because those are sober thoughts. Thankfully, a lot of these I don't know, thankfully, like maybe it would be better if these were induced by alcohol, because this is just him off the noggin. Like, this is him sober. This is him when he's fine. So it's just he's not an alcoholic. He didn't like alcohol. No, I think that I'm such a lightweight. My parents are not drinkers. Like, I'm a marihuanero, I like to call myself. I'm not a dog was just there. I'm not I don't like alcohol a lot at all. So we ended up moving to Granada. He leaves to Merida. He leaves, and he never tells us when he's coming back, basically just asking us when are we leaving. So we're able to get all our things, and we move to Granada. And here I am. Now we've been here for a month and a half now, and I love it. I love it. Oh, talking about like being here now, I was just talking about all that shit. I was getting so angry and getting so, but I'm in a much better place now, thankfully, and all of what it is now that I need to do is figure out how can I sustain myself being here monetarily, and what can I do for me, like what do I want to grow in. And I said in the last video that I want to be someone who is ready to make the world a better place and ready for the new world to come, because I know, and even in astrology it says this, like even he knows this, my dad, when I refer to he, I mean him, he knows this, that things are going to be different. Things are going to be much different 3 years from now, from what they are like today. Like, the world we know it is going to change so much, and it will get fucking crazier than it is now, for sure. But I'm ready for that, and I'm looking at how the world is now, and I'm like, are we even happy with what it is right now? No one is, except the 1%. Except the capitalist class, like no one is. So I'm here, I'm ready, I'm open. That's how I am right now. The door's open. I'm open, and I'm looking for that open door. I'm open. I'm trying to be better in little ways, like journaling. My journal helps me so much. Reading. I want to educate myself while I'm not currently enrolled in anything. Not that, you know, you need to be in a school to learn something. Reading is proof that you don't. Honestly, y'all, please pick up a book. Please pick up a book, but a non-fictional book. And my ex was so right about that. I remember being like mad at him, being like, why can't I read my smut? You can read your smut, girl, but just have something else too at the end of the day. Like, have something historical, have something that inspires you, that, you know, read an autobiography. Read about why our cities the way that they are. Read it in another language. Challenge yourself. Expand how your mind grows and thinks. And yeah. So, yeah. And one thing that happened a lot in my family, with my mom, me, and my sister, is the isolation that my dad caused. Made a wedge between my mom's side of the family and us, and a little bit less of a wedge between, you know, the kids, you know, me, my sister, and them, but a huge one in between my mom, her sister, my mom, and her other daughter, who she doesn't share the same dad with me, and it separated a lot of our family, and we have my tia, my mom's sister, and my brother, and my cousin, and my aunt, and my uncle. He is moving. I mean, they are coming to visit in I think a week or so, and I'm really seeing this as an opportunity. Like, this is a crazy timing. Like, of course, right when we move, and my mom is actually able to be herself and in a free environment, they are planning a trip to Europe. So we have an opportunity to mend ties and to rebuild bridges, and I'm really, really, really excited about that. Like, it makes me really happy and emotional because I miss my family. I'm such a family person. I'm so community, family oriented that it hurts knowing that right now I'm not as connected as I'd like to be with the people that, you know, I share blood with. And I have a thing where blood isn't everything, but when you've been separated by blood and it's not what you want, yeah, it can hurt. It can hurt, especially when it was the father's side of the blood separating you from your mother's side. Like, there's layers in this shit. There is. Feels so much better saying that out loud and saying that to you guys. Oh my gosh. I know my mind right now is a little cloudy. I've been thinking a lot in Spanish. So I've been writing a lot of my stuff in Spanish, like my feelings. So expressing it in English, again, like, it can, I stumble. I stumble. I feel like that happens when you're bettering yourself in one language and you're like going all in and stuff, like you're the one that you know already. It kind of like weakens and gets watered down a little bit with the other one. Yeah. All right. I'm going to go explore this new neighborhood that I've been wanting to explore. I've been looking at it on the map. It's called Bola de Oro in Granada, and it's a ball of gold. And yeah, but this is me. This is who I am. This is why I'm here. And this is who's uploading all these videos. So now you guys have a better context for everything. Bye.